Ayman Khan here for Seconds Out with Spencer Oliver. Spencer, signed, sealed, nearly delivered Lawrence Okoli on Boxer. You feel like gets through this mandatory and there's big fights, unifications in the offing for him?
Yeah, listen, big opportunity for Lawrence Okoli. It's been a frustrating time for the last 12 months or so. And now he gets his opportunity with Boxer on Sky Sports against David Light, who for me stylistically is made for Okoli. 20-0, 12 KOs, comes with ambition, carries his left hand a little bit low, comes out in straight lines, leaning back. Lawrence Okoli, 6'5" figure. I don't know how he makes cruiserweight, with a massive right hand and that added bonus of teaming up with Sugar Hill. And I was watching them in the gym last night, and I've got to tell you, mate, it was impressive what they were working on. Okoli was working on the jabs, stepping back, driving the right hands through. That could be the shot that we see on Saturday night. I'm expecting Okoli to win in sensational style, and I reckon he could do it early, like 4 rounds.
Maybe the potential for Lawrence Okoli to step over into that mainstream look. He's rapping, he's writing. The slight little thing with his boxing ability maybe is that he might be a little bit messy in terms of being an entertainer in the ring. You feel like that step over to Sugar Hill will clean that up and he can really kind of push himself into the mainstream?
Absolutely. Listen, I think when he teamed up with Shane McGuigan, we started seeing that, in his last couple of performances. The timing was right. Like, what we've had with Lawrence Okoli in the past is when it's been looking a little bit ugly and, sometimes messy, is that he misses the range sometimes. His judgment, the distance, the right hand was going past the opponent and all that, falling short sometimes. But in the last couple of fights under the watchful eye of Shane McGuigan, he started getting that right. And I think with Sugar Hill, who's renowned for working with heavyweights and has been under the watchful eye of his uncle Manny Stewart, so he's got that pedigree. And he works great with heavyweights. And what I was seeing there, I'm going, wow, I think we're going to see a new, improved Lawrence Okoli. I mean, if Okoli hits you, you're staying hit, mate. He hits like a heavyweight. I don't know, like I say, how he's making cruiserweight, and it'll only be a matter of time. It's imminent that he's going to move up to heavyweight. But yeah, I think we're going to see something special on Saturday with Sugar Hill, because I think that he'll add those, or adjust those missing elements.
So run me through the rest of the card, starting with Fraser Clark. With heavyweights, they always have potential. You never know truly until they get there. But Fraser's someone who's looking to push on. He's talked about Fabio Wardley there. Said people are deluded if they think I'm not at that level. He seems hungry for it.
Absolutely, Fraser's. He had an extensive amateur career, bronze in the Tokyo Olympics, and he boxed in the World Boxing Series, and he had an extensive career. He's there, and he was on that cycle for a long time. So turning over to the professional ranks was not a massive adjustment for him because of the World Boxing Series. So, he wants to move at a rapid rate. He's not a spring chicken. He's now 5-0, and he was looking to box Radal Booker, who was a good fighter with, good credentials. And this opponent, this Dinu, who stepped in, he's been in with some big names as well. And he's taken them 4 rounds, 7 rounds. So he's a credible opponent. But I know Fraser's saying, listen, well, Fabio Wardley, bring me him now. I'm ready. And, I think that he doesn't need a lot of time. He doesn't need that development stage because he's already done it. He's done the apprenticeship. So they can let him go a little bit. And I think that's what Fraser wants. He wants those fights, and he's looking to move in the next 12 months. He's saying he's looking to move into title contention. He wants to get it on fast. He's at a frustrating time with, he broke his thumb, I think, about 6 months or so ago. He's feeling good now. He's feeling ready now. And we're expecting a big performance on Saturday night.
Jumping from Fraser Clark, a big heavyweight, to a big heavyweight situation, which now it appears that the fight is off between Fury and Usyk. Disappointing, a shame for boxing, because we want that heavyweight title fight. Do you feel that maybe it gets put on later in the year?
It's not definitely off yet. It's not signed, sealed, delivered. There's no official statement. I spoke to Frank Warren yesterday, and he's still hopeful. Yes, it's only a little shoestring it's hanging by, but he's still hopeful that they can finalise these last little bits of the negotiations that have been going back and forth. They're nearly there, man. Venue was booked, hotels are booked, most of the contracts was booked. And there's been some little negotiations that are just little niggles that need sorting out. And I think from Usyk's side, who said the fight is off, I think there's frustration from their side. They're saying, look, we're being fucked about too much. We don't want to do it anymore. Fury's asking for too much. He's trying to squeeze us too much. you know, the backlash that Fury will get off the back of it if it doesn't happen is probably not a good one, if I'm honest. I think that, you know, the public perception of him may change slightly because they feel that they wanted the fight and Usyk wanted to give us the fight and they feel that it's more Fury's fault than Usyk's. But like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of the contracts for that one, but I'm saying it's not definitely over just yet. Let's watch what happens in the next couple of days. But if we don't get that, man, it's going to be gutting because look, what are we going to get? Fury fucking Wilder for? I mean, all right, listen, I'd love to see it still because I enjoyed the first three, but, you know, it's frustrating, man. What do we get? Oleksandr Uysk versus Daniel Dubois? You know, they're not the sort of fights. Yeah, they're good fights, but we want to see the fucking undisputed. We haven't had that since 1999, you know, going back to Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. And that one was a controversial draw, then they had to do it again. So that's how long it takes for these fights to come back, you know? And, yeah, I want to see that. And this is the 4-belt era, by the way, not the 3.
Rematch clauses are often controversial. Where do you stand on rematch clauses? Should there be one for an undisputed heavyweight title fight?
Yeah, I think there should be, but I think that if you're going to have a rematch clause in there, and it's all about the demands of the fighters, and I think that's where we got problems right now. Some fighters want more in the rematch clause than what they deserve. I think the rematch clause should be there, but the percentage side of things shouldn't be sorted until we know who won, how they won, and whatnot, and then you can discuss percentages. So yeah, who knows, mate?
We don't know exact figures, but Alex Krasik, speaking to SecondsOut and IFL, said that essentially Fury is earning 3 times less than he would for Anthony Joshua, which maybe makes the feeling that Tyson Fury isn't the draw than he's perceived. He hasn't maybe sold the millions of pay-per-views like maybe it is stated. What do you feel about that?
Who knows, mate? You know, I don't know if that's just mind games trying to get inside the head of Tyson Fury, who's great at playing mind games himself. So yeah, can't comment on that one because I wouldn't know the figures, so I wouldn't want to comment on that if I'm honest.
That's fair enough, but this means that maybe this opens the door for it not being Wembley, but Saudi Arabia can come back in and the title fight goes over there.
Absolutely, and that's the fucking gutter if I'm honest. I mean, getting the undisputed heavyweight title in the capital at Wembley is a historic moment, mate. And it was, you know, it looked like in the beginning of January, it looked like it was going to go to Saudi. Usyk accepted his offer in Saudi. Tyson Fury refused his, and that's why the fight didn't go there. That's how it ended up in London, you know, because they had separate offers put to them. And I'm thinking, yes, mate, this is going to be fucking historic, man. You know what I mean? April 29, the weather's going to be nice, it's going to be good. And it's falling, it looks like it could be falling on its arse, which is a shame, man, because going back to, look, I understand that the fighters have got to get paid, and Saudi is where the money's at right now, but we want those memories and those historic moments happening in our country, and yeah, let's hope we get it, man. Let's be hopeful on this one. You know, we can only hope.
You alluded to it. What fights do we get? Tyson Fury. There's always whispers of Manuel Charr. Boxing fans are gonna be disappointed if that's the fight.
Absolutely, mate. Who's fucking? You know what I mean? Look, you know, we had that situation at Christmas, didn't we? When we was thinking Fury and Anthony Joshua was closer than ever. We was going to get that fight, and it was in December, and it was at the football ground, and yes, it's happening. And all of a sudden, we get Fury and Derek Chisora. You go, not that I still always my boy. I go, not that I go. Well, I know Derek's going to give it a go, but Fury's an overwhelming favourite. But when you're expecting to get one thing and you're delivered another thing, it can be a massive disappointment. And I think whatever happens, if we don't get that fight with Fury Usyk, unless we get Fury Joshua, which ain't going to happen next, I think that the public are going to be disappointed, you know? And so it's a shame, mate. It's a backlash on boxing, but also a backlash on Fury.
Moving on to another topic, Eddie Hearn and Simon Jordan met on Talk Sport. Did that conversation do anything to sway your position on Conor Benn's innocence or not?
No, I was there. I went in for the last half an hour after Eddie left. I was in the gallery listening to it all, and no, nothing persuaded my position on where I'm at right now. The fact that you failed 2 tests and you need to prove your innocence, and you say you've got your innocence in your 270-page document, but you won't present it to the British Boxing Board of Control. The WBC have reinstated you into the rankings, which means fuck all. Doesn't clear your name. To clear your name and to get the public back on your side, you have to present those documents to the British Boxing Board of Control. But for some reason he won't. Why not? Because the British Boxing Board of Control say you are responsible for what goes into your body. So in that document, is there no evidence to say why it ended up in his body? That's the question. That was what Simon was saying to Eddie. And that was the thing, that was the big argument and the back and forth, and we never got the answer, did we? We didn't actually get the answer. All we got was that Conor's fighting again in June, and it looks likely it's going to be Chris Eubank Jr. I thought the front one was Pacquiao, or I thought if not Pacquiao, we're going to get Kell Brook, but out of nowhere, we heard Chris Eubank Jr. on there. So that looks likely the likely thing now. But Eddie did say, to his credit, that he wants Conor Benn to present now evidence to the British Boxing Board of Control. He wants him fighting in Britain again, but he needs to do that sooner rather than later, because as we all know, 99% of the public are against Conor now because of the way that he's dealt with the situation. You know, blaming everyone else. Not our fault. We're not in there. We're just here to talk about it. That's what we're paid to do. And on the evidence we presented, it looks guilty. Until you can give us evidence that says otherwise, we can only make that judgment. It's not a personal attack. Do you know what I mean? But he thinks it is. Thinks everyone's against him and it's personal, and it ain't. That's where we're at.
It's always a difficult position being in boxing and covering boxing, because this kind of been a situation is going on. It's a tricky situation, but it looks like he's going to fight there. Where do you stand on him? Do you feel he should be fighting, or should he clear his name first?
Yeah, he should be clearing his name first. He shouldn't be fighting. He should be clearing his name. If he's got the evidence, clear your name, because otherwise it's just wrong, isn't it? For me, it's wrong. You know, I'm very passionate about, you know, people taking drugs within our sport, a sport that you can get seriously harmed or even die. Come on, mate. I nearly died in the ring myself, so I'm sort of a bit passionate about it. I don't want fucking drug cheats in the sport. So at the moment, that's what he's perceived as. Clear your name, mate, before you get back in the ring, because otherwise it's not going to go in his favour, as in with the public and the respect from the people. So I'd like to see him clear his name.
The other side of it is, if Chris Eubank Jr. ends up fighting Conor Benn, that means that man to your left, Liam Smith, is without an opponent. There was a rematch clause agreed, but it seems like that fight is fading away.
Listen, he could be in the mix as well with Conor Benn. You know, I spoke to Liam Smith about it, and he said, listen, it is what it is. You know, Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith, they've talked about May the 20th being the date that them two get it on. Nothing's still signed at the moment. So let's just see how it goes, just see what happens.
Final couple of things from me. Matchroom Boxing and DAZN are back on Sky. Does this ramp up the competition for boxing on the same platform now?
Not really. You still got to pay for it. I mean, it's better for Matchroom, and I'm pleased for them because they've got a platform, and it is better for them. You still got to pay that DAZN subscription on top of your Sky subscription, which is, you know, that's fine. But at least it shows that DAZN are moving forward, and that's healthy. That's healthy competition.
And a lot of shows have been announced from boxers' point of view. You've got Boaty coming up as well. Babic is going to be on the platform too over in Poland. It seems like Sky are really pushing boxing right now.
Absolutely, mate. Sky, you know, boxing's very big at the moment. You know, it's very, very big. You know, it's become a mainstream sport. Sky are pushing it. Boxers are young, ambitious company, you know, promotion. And they've got a great vision. And, you know, they're looking to take things on the road as well. We was in Paris last week. We're going to Poland on April the 22nd. There's other countries that I can't announce yet that we are going to as well. So, yeah, it's looking healthy, man. Really good.
It's a good conversation. Thanks for speaking to Seconds Out. Much appreciated.
Cheers.